All right, so mute all. Continue. Okay, so I hate it when it's so quiet. Then I feel like I'm literally just talking to myself. Okay. All right, so basically, and I have notes down here, so if I keep looking down, sorry, I have a girl that should be signing up tomorrow. And the one thing, we'll talk about this and stuff, but she wrote, I must say I'm worried about getting customers because of where I live. So I honestly just wrote, I will help you, and I share lots of ways with how to build your network with my team. So that's honestly all I did with that one. I think for me, when people give me stuff like that, I try to reassure them that it's going to be okay. So when people say, I'm just really busy, blah, 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 good, the busier you are, I reassure them of their one thing that they're worried about at the time or whatever. So, and that's honestly, the more people that you talk to, the more times that's going to come up. So when somebody says they don't have time, you know, I basically say the same thing every time. Or when somebody says they are not a seller, I truly, honestly, that's probably my most favorite one, because I'm not either. Like, I'm a teacher. So here, let me share this with you type of thing. So I do like it when people do show concerns, because it's normal. And I will even say, like, when my mother-in-law signed up, you know, she said, I'm nervous. And I said, that's normal. Like, it's okay to be nervous. Like, 100% of people are nervous. So, and I didn't have to try to like make her feel comfortable or da 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 da. I knew she was going to be signing up, but it was a matter of making her feel comfortable and knowing that it's okay to be nervous. Like, 100% of all people are nervous probably when they sign up with this, because it's something out of the norm. It's not something that you're used to doing. You want to be successful. You're afraid that you won't be successful. So it's normal to have those, you know, the anxiety and be nervous and, you know, anxious. I know you're excited, but, you know, blah, 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 blah. So reassuring people when they're signing up is my number one thing. I should have said this at the beginning, but anytime I do a Zoom, I feel like I need to say, this is what works for me. I just give tips and tricks to people. I know there's other leaders that do different things and this works for them and yada, 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 but this is what works for me. And, you know, that's basically the tips that I'm sharing. So I might jump around, but as you kind of think of things, if I say something that you're like, ooh, let's talk about that, put it in the messenger part. So I'm just going to jump down to word vomiting. I was a person that when I blitzed at the beginning, I will admit I did not blitz for a couple of months at the beginning because I used Facebook and Facebook worked for me. So, and in all honesty, I didn't have somebody like checking in with me to be like, did you do this? Did you do that? Did you do this? So I had nobody holding me accountable for anything. So I kind of just did my own thing. My first month, within my first 30 days, I signed 10 loyal customers. And I honestly didn't know if that was a good thing or bad thing. And I feel silly admitting that, but I was like, oh yeah, I don't know. But at the end of that 30 days, I was like, well, excuse me, but like, screw blitzing. I got all these people from Facebook, and they're from North Carolina and New York, which is, and maybe some from Florida too, I can't remember, but it was basically my East Coast people, and that's friends and family. So it was basically my comfort zone. So then I latched on to Facebook. It's a good thing and a bad thing. Looking back now, if I would have changed anything, I truly and honestly would have just said, get your butt out of your comfort zone right now and get out there and blitz. I don't care how uncomfortable you are. You want to build this business, get out there and blitz. So Kat, are you here? Give me a thumbs up. You're walking. Okay, let me go let Kat in. Okay, think of questions if you guys have any and write it down. Give me 2 seconds. Okay. All right. So So basically, if I could kind of do things over my first 30 days, that's something that I would absolutely do. I would also start adding people to my Facebook friend list. That's another thing that I really wish that I would have just started building that network from the beginning. I really didn't realize, oh, Kat's definitely not here. John, don't be mad at me. I see I'm like, where is she? Anyways, hopefully nobody comes in my door, but if they do, then y'all can call the cops. So, all right, focus. What was I saying? Basically, building your network, had I done that from the beginning, I feel that that really would have been more beneficial to me. I didn't do that because I really wasn't thinking about what was going to happen when I got away from my warm market. So your warm market is basically your friends and family. So when you first get started, that's your comfort zone. That's what you do. Seriously, Sarah? I'll say it out loud really quick if I need to. She asked where my address is if she needs to call the cops. So anyways, I'm getting very sidebarred here. I literally have had 2 sips of wine, so it's definitely not the wine. Okay, so basically that's kind of my big thing is building your network. I didn't think about what I was going to do once I kind of exhausted my warm market. So you're going to if you just started, you're going to work on your warm market and you're going to get to a point where you're like, oh, kind of feel like I've just talked to everybody. That's when you have to take a step back and you have to really think, okay, I need to step out of my comfort zone here and I need to tap into my cold market. Well, what's your cold market? It's people that you don't know. It's people that, you meet at parties. It's people that you meet at the grocery store and you're blitzing, and that's your cold market. So had I started all over again type of thing, I wish that I would have, started tapping into that immediately. But of course I didn't. So where I was basically going with this is, at the beginning when I was blitzing people, I would just talk like the entire time because I was so excited to get their attention and that they said, yes, I could give them the coupon. Also, another thing at the beginning was I would hand them the card and say, have you tried this crazy wrap thing? Well, in all honesty, that doesn't work for me. So that's why I didn't like blitzing, because I thought I had to say that. So I realized that what works for me is I go up to people and say, can I give you a coupon? Because 100% of all people say yes. And then you kind of let the conversation go from there. So that was the thing for me that I had to realize on my own, basically. But I had to take a step back and say, I feel like these people aren't interested. What am I doing? And it was because I would word vomit on them, basically. I would just talk. But now it's like I hand them the coupon, I let them ask questions, and I just answer questions. I don't go into, talking about all these other things. Now, something that I did start doing was once I kind of have their attention and I'm talking to them about the products, I throw in a business sentence, basically. So about the business. So this is what I do at home. This is, I used to be a teacher and now I'm, making enough money to stay home with my son. So if you're interested in making some money too, we can absolutely talk about that as well. So that's literally like a 1-line plug-in. And the only reason I'm doing it is to feel them out. If they're like, well, how much money do you make? Or then I know I have their attention, and then I know that they're a potential distributor. So, and they could always, start as, getting the greens, but then in the back of my mind, I'm like, she was curious. So maybe after 2 months of getting the greens, I message her and say, listen, all you're going to do is share with people the greens. So basically, whatever, you kind of go from there. So that's kind of my thing with word vomiting. Okay, I'm going to touch on cold messaging, and then I'll kind of go into, regular messaging, because I feel like that's probably going to be the meat of what we talk about. So cold messaging, I've talked about before in other Zooms, so I'm not going to go in depth and do the screen share and everything. But cold messaging is very uncomfortable for a lot of people. And in all honesty, I didn't do it for a while because it was awkward. But I joined mom groups. And then I engage in conversations with people. Parker had an ear infection. Parker was sick, whatever. any person that comments on that, I'll like it, I'll comment and say thank you, and then they get a friend request. So if they accept that friend request, and there's people that don't, and that's fine, I'll write their name down in my notebook. Do I always write their name down? No. But if I see it come through and I have my notebook, I write it down. I let them kind of watch me for a little bit. Hopefully they like one of my posts, and then I immediately message them. I say immediately, but I probably give it an hour or two, whatever. But sometimes if somebody likes something and I see that they're active online, I really kind of just want to message them right away and say something before they do get offline. So with cold messages, what works for me and what I do is I truly and honestly have to have like an hour to 2 hours set aside. So I will do this. And of course I live in Arizona, and a lot of my, I have a whole group of people over on the East Coast. So I will wake up early and do cold messaging. So while Parker's really good in the morning, thank God. So he'll play for like an hour, I'll feed him, and then he'll kind of chill for another hour. So that's my time to really, get some of those messages out. But basically what I do is I kind of pick a person that I want to message. So say, her name's Whitney. So I'm going to message Whitney. So I basically have it all drafted out, whatever, directed towards her. Then, and I'm going to go to her page. I'm going to see, because I don't know her. Think about that. This is a cold message. I don't know her. So I'm going to go to her Facebook page and kind of check her out and be like, okay, that's right. She's from my mom's group. So see where she lives. Does she live in Phoenix? Does she live near me? Because I want to, when I'm messaging her, I want to make it look like I know her. I'm not going to be like, hi, I'm some random rap girl trying to get, no, it's not going to be like that. You want to make it appear, be yourself, be friendly, but also kind of throw in a line here or there. So something I'll say is, hey, how are you? I love seeing pictures of your baby, whatever. I wanted to touch base with you to see if you'd be interested in hearing more about the business that I'm in with It Works. This is what I do from home. And honestly, sometimes I'll like type this whole thing and I'm like, oh my gosh, way too long. Make it shorter. So I'll like cut stuff out. So the first message is probably the most important one because I kind of just get a template like started. So pretty much at the end, what I'll say is, I know that we live close to each other, so I'd be more than happy to meet you for coffee one morning with the kids, even if you want to, maybe we can do a play date, whatever. I try to make it, directed towards her. Okay. So then I have that template. I send it on to her. She's not going to see it probably for a couple hours or whatever, or even if she doesn't even open it, whatever, move on. Copy that. And I have a sticky, like not literally sticky pads, but it's an app on my computer, sticky pad notes or whatever. I copy it and I paste it. And then now I'm going to go message Carrie and I'm going to revamp it, change it around a little bit, go to Carrie's Facebook page, see, okay, well, I actually met her at the birthday party a month ago. So I'll maybe mention that in the thing too, whatever. Well, I guess it's cold messaging, so I wouldn't know her. But basically go to their Facebook page, try to like get an idea of a connection of some sort to be personal connection. So message Carrie, leave it there, and then I'll probably make another one, like a third template maybe to send somebody else. And then from there, I can pretty much be like, okay, I'm going to send this to that person, this to that person. And then I can kind of go from there. So the first like 10 minutes is probably the hardest part for me because I'm really having to focus on like what I want to say in these messages. So once I get my template down, then I kind of shoot them out from there. And then I am on like a mission to send, I really do try to send 50 messages out, like in one sitting. I'll do, and it all depends. If people start writing you back, well, you're going to be engaged in conversations. You're not going to be sending out all these new messages to people. So it's all a matter of, you do want to get these people engaged. So write down names of people that you want to message. Huge thing is notebook. Like, I'm not joking you. These 3 things are like my best friends. And I know it sounds silly that I have 3 of them, but I don't want to lose my page and blah, blah, blah. So this one's potential loyal customers, potential distributors. And then this was basically my 6 list, which turned into maybe a 15 list. As I went throughout the day, I kind of crossed them out and then added new things that I needed to do. So that's what works for me. That's why the thing is you have to figure out what works for you. And I didn't do this from day one. You know, I had to figure out really what is best for me. I'm a visual person. You know, I have all my charts printed out. I was talking to somebody, I have 2 clipboards full of charts of everyone on my team separated, you know, diamonds and above type of thing. And then people that are just getting started or whatever. So finding a system that works for you is really important. If you're somebody that is looking for some organization, then have a conversation with your upline and be like, what do? I can't keep this organized, da, 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 da. And they can give you, you know, tips. So, all right. So the next thing I kind of want to go into, and this is where I want you guys to kind of get engaged and add things over in the side. So when people are messaging you, what do you say back to them is basically what I want you to be, you know, asking yourself. So today I was getting messages from a couple people, and it was kind of like what do you do when someone ignores it? So they see it and they just kind of ignore you. Well, in all honesty, you've got to get in the back of your head that they're just busy. So don't beat yourself up over it. You don't know that they sat there, looked at it and were like, rolled their eyes and walked away from the computer. Like, don't think of it like that. But I will tell you, they didn't say no to you. They didn't say, leave me alone. They didn't say, never contact me again. And you know what? That's a good thing, because that means that you can follow up with them. So that's kind of my big thing there. And I'm not going to say her name that I was talking to, but I said, listen, take a step back for a second and think about the conversations that I had with you to get you started. And when you joined my team, I did not just message you and be like, hey girl, join my team. And you were like, oh, heck yeah, let's go. Like, that is not how it happened. I messaged you. We chatted a little bit. You said you'd think about it. Did you come to me and tell me that you were still interested? No, I had to go to you again. We talked about it. I told you about whatever promotion maybe was going on at the time, yada, yada, yada. Maybe you said you'd think about it again. Okay. I probably followed up with you about, God, maybe 5 times, which in all honesty, in my mind, I'm like, heck yeah, that's good. If we kind of went back and forth. But I think if I even looked at the messages between her and I probably messaged her 3 times in a row without her messaging me back. That is very normal. And any person that I've signed up, like, go look at the conversations between us before you signed up, because most likely I'm the type of person that I'm going to message you, and I'm sorry, I'm not going to sit there and be like, gosh dang it, she read it and she didn't get back to me. No, I don't care. She didn't say no. I'm going to send her a message in 2 days. That's just how I am. That's kind of just what I do. I go, hey, stop it. I don't wait around and let people kind of come back to me. I'm not that I'm forceful, but I'm following up with people and saying, hey girl, wanted to make sure you got my message, just following up with you. Or, hey, wanted to see if you had time to chat today. Like, I have messaged so many people today, and I probably started only a couple of conversations. It's a little frustrating, but keep moving forward. Keep messaging new people. You can't always be following up with the same people. So that's why it's important to have your 6 list. Riley, get over here. Whitney, sorry, your daughter's probably like, what? So shoot, I keep getting off track. I was going to say something about it. Shoot. So whatever. Anyways, I kind of know where I was going with it. But so when people don't write back to you, you really truly have to just add them to your list to follow up with. If somebody, like, I've had people be like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to join you. And then I literally have messaged them like 5 times in a row after that. Now, is it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? Am I messaging them on those days? No. But a lot of people say 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. I don't do that. That I get irritated with that. So I pretty much do 2 days, and then maybe I'll do like 4 or 5 days, and then maybe I'll do a week after that. And then I'll kind of give it some time, and then I'll kind of just put it on the back burner. So I had this girl that literally was like, okay, I'm ready to sign up. She even told me that she had her credit card, and this is a good friend of mine from high school, has her credit card at wherever. So she has to, she would get it within the next day or 2 or whatever. And I still haven't heard back from her. So I've messaged her. probably 5 or 6 times, and she has really yet to get back to me, but I'm not going to stop. I know she's interested. I know she's busy, but it may look a little annoying, but that's kind of how I roll, I guess. So don't think of it as people ignoring you. I will say when people say no, I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with that. In all honesty, it's just, I just cross them off my list. I don't have to follow up with them again. And I'm okay with that. You can't take it personally. I feel like, you have to get in your head that you're here to help people. And if you really are truly and honestly only in this for the money, if that's the only reason that you're in this, then you will not go far in this company, because you truly and honestly have to care about helping others. So whether it's helping others with the products or helping other people, build a business and, meeting their goals and stuff like that. I truly do believe in that. So don't get discouraged when somebody says no. That's fine. They just aren't interested at that time. Now, if at some point they're interested, then they'll come back to you. So don't freak out about that. All right, I'm going to step over here for a couple questions. What to say in a follow-up after an ignored message is my hardest. Honestly, something that I even do is, hey girl, wanted to see if you had time to chat tonight. Don't act like you just messaged them. Don't acknowledge that you just messaged them. Don't be like, hey, saw that you didn't see my message, or saw that you read my message and you're ignoring me. Like, don't do that. But I've even said to somebody before, hey girl, just following up, wanted to see if you got my message. That's okay. Like, that's fine. And I will tell you, when I say that, some people are like, oh my God, I've been so busy. I'm so sorry. So it's okay. Like, don't freak out. And the more that this happens to you, the more that you're going to be like, oh, wow, some people are ignoring me because that's just normal, whatever. But some people aren't ignoring you. Some people truly and honestly are just busy in their lives. Think about the times that you're messaging them. Sometimes I message people at like 1:00 in the afternoon on a Tuesday. Well, I'm a stay-at-home mom. Most people have jobs and most people are working at that time. So they're probably on the go, check their phone, whatever, rap girl, okay. And they're not going to like touch base with me, because in their head, they're thinking, okay, what does she want type of thing. Whereas in my mind, I'm thinking, I want to help you. I want to help you get that $1,000 Ruby bonus, or you keep saying you have these migraines, but you haven't even tried the greens. So that's probably the biggest thing, is when you are messaging these people, let them know that, you have something for them and you want to help them in whatever way it may be. All right, 6 list. Does that mean you don't know what the 6 list is? Do you want me to go over the 6 list? Yes? Okay. So 6 list is a list. Personally, for me, I make it right before I go to bed. So Parker goes to bed, and this is really like my time to work. So that's why you guys usually see me post in Diamond Dreams, or our team page at night. So I make a list of at least 6 things. Sometimes, like last night, seriously, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It was 11 last night, because I knew I really had a lot of things to do. But once you're just starting out, 6 things on your list. Put a little box next to them, and you literally have to check off that box before you go to bed the following night. So you're not going to put something on that list like post on Facebook, because that's ridiculous, and you should be doing that anyways. So you should be doing that a couple of times a day. You're not going to put something like sign a loyal customer, because in all honesty, you can't guarantee that that's going to happen. These have to be tasks for you to do where you literally can check them off when they're done. So it should be things like follow up with 10 potential distributors, message my new distributors and help them get their launch party set up, message 5 people about the greens. They should be literally very specific, where you can do that task the following day. So if you know you're going to the grocery store the next day, put on your 6 list, do not leave the grocery store until 5 people are blitzed. That is not a difficult task to do when you go to the grocery store. One person is the person you hand money to at the cashier. The second person, get a Starbucks on your way by and hand it to the 3 people working there. Do whatever it takes. It doesn't matter, but get it done. Now, something that I still struggle with, that I will continue to challenge myself with, is as I'm blitzing people, and for all of you that know me very well, I could talk on and on and on about anything, and the products in the business, I'm very comfortable with this now. So this is my comfort zone. So I could sit and talk to anybody about it, but something that I still struggle with is I went out of my comfort zone, handed them a blitz card, I'm talking, da 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 da. Getting their contact information so that I can follow up with them is a very difficult thing for me. So something that has, now here's the thing. I've acknowledged the fact that I have something that I'm struggling with. So in the back of my mind, I think, okay, how are you going to overcome that hurdle? You've got to figure out a way to overcome that hurdle. So something that I do is I say, well, actually, I'm doing a monthly wrap giveaway. So if you'd like to be entered, you can go ahead and give me your phone number. It doesn't have to be like, here, give me your address, your phone number, and your email address. Like, literally, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. But you should either have your notebook in, with you in your purse so that they can just write it down real quick, or just hand them your phone and be like, okay, potential, and then put them in your phone and have a system that works for you. So when I do that and I hand them my phone, I get it back and I say, what was your name again? Okay, Mary. And I'll put Mary Fries, which is my grocery store. So basically that's where I met her. Mary Fries. And then I put PLC greens. So say she asked questions about the greens. So that's how I would kind of know in my head, okay, when I follow up with her, she's a potential loyal customer. I met her at Fries and she was interested in the greens. So when I go to call her or text her, which in all honesty, I text people because that's just what works for me. I will mention, it was so nice to meet you. I really wanted to talk to you more about the greens that you were interested in, blah, 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 blah. So you've got to get in a system that works for you and kind of go from there. Okay. So does that make sense with the 6 list? 6 things, and then basically you don't go to sleep until that 6 list is done. And honestly, that's something that works for me. I will be very honest with you. When we started doing the 6 list, I didn't get it. It didn't make sense to me. I just kind of was like, I just do what I have to do. And then I had a kid. So 6 list is my best friend because my day can literally get away from me. And I'm like, what was I supposed to do today? So it really, really is my go-to every day. It works well for me. A good one is, I'm sorry I did not say something that offended you. They answer so quick. A good one, I'm sorry, did I say something that offended you? So are they saying this back to you, Sarah? Sarah, unmute yourself.
Okay, I'm unmuted. No, like if they don't answer you, I'll be like, I'm sorry. I hope I didn't say something that offended you. And they answer so quick, like, no, sorry. I read it and didn't get back or whatever.
Okay, yeah. So that honestly, in that way, it's kind of like they want to make sure they did that. That you didn't offend them. So most likely they're going to write back. Yeah, And honestly, it's about figuring out what works for you. Truly and honestly, with loyal customers, potential loyal customers, the one that always works for me is, and I always say, hey girl, so don't say it if you don't always talk like that. I always talk like that. So I always say, hey girl, I'm getting orders in tonight. Just wanted to touch base with you, see if you were ready to get your order in. And I'm specific. So if I know that they're interested in the greens, I say, are you ready to get that order of greens in? So that's usually my go-to when it's a potential loyal customer. Hey, I'm getting orders in. If I do an online wrap party, or even if I have a party at someone's house or whatever, a way for me to follow up with them, I will say, hey, I'm closing out the party tomorrow night, so I just wanted to let you know if you were ready to get that order in, or when you were ready to get that order in. I will say something I learned early on was, don't say if, say when. So when you're talking to somebody, always use the word when. Kat, you can come in. Door's open. Okay. I hope I didn't say something that offended you. Okay, gotcha, Sarah. Okay. I miss shopping at Fry's with Starbucks. Angelica, it's not all it's cracked up to be. You're fine. Okay, so I kind of want to open it up and kind of just let you guys kind of ask questions. So if you don't have any specific questions, then I'm going to unmute everybody, and then kind of we'll have just an open discussion. And you can mute yourself if you have kids screaming in the background or whatever, and you still want to listen or whatever, just go ahead and mute yourself. So does anyone have questions that they want to write? I'm going to go ahead and unmute everybody, and then we can kind of have, all right, so unmute all and then mute yourself if you'd like.
And you can take my card to get the ice cream.
I want ice cream, whoever just said that.
Oh my God, that was me. I'm like, yeah, so when you go to the store, could you just pick up some ice cream for me? Thanks.
And then drop it off at great.
We'll ship it to you, but it might be a little melted by the time it gets there.
That would really work. Okay, so does anybody have any questions about messaging, cold messaging, about
I have one real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've been following up with potentials and stuff, but they'll be like, oh, I'll do it on payday. I'll do it on payday. And then payday comes, I message them, and then they ignore me completely until about the same time the following week. So if they get paid on like a Friday, I'll message them on like a Wednesday and say, hey, let me know when you're ready. And she's like, okay, till Friday. I'll follow up on Friday. They'll ignore me until the following.
Honestly, that's a tough one, and I even struggle with that. I should have had a distributor signing up. What's today? Saturday. She should have signed up yesterday, and today's her birthday. So I wrote to her this morning and wished her a happy birthday. I wrote on her wall, and then I did it. Can you get that Parker's toy out of his mouth? So I wrote to her this morning, was like, happy birthday, da, da, da. And then I just kind of was like, listen, I know you're busy today. I know it's your birthday. So just shoot me a message tomorrow and we can go ahead and get you started. So that one is tough when they do ignore you when they say that. So something that I have tried before and it did work for me. Now, does it work every time? Absolutely not. So when they say, hey girl, I'm getting paid on Friday. I'm going to get started, da, da, da. I say, that is awesome. I can totally get you in on Friday. So if you want to go ahead and shoot me your information and stuff now, I'll just go ahead and wait till Friday and I can get you started then. And then just leave it out there. See what they say. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be like, give me your credit card information now and I'll take your social security number while you're at it. But just be a little strategic with it. Put it out there and see what they say. If they say, yeah, sure, that's fine, then send them the list. Does everybody have that on their phone, the list of loyal customer and distributor?
Yes.
Okay. If you do not, you should have that. So basically, I'm just going to show you real quick. So like yesterday, I signed up, loyal customer and distributor, and I just sent this over to them. But basically, that's all it is. Hang on. Okay. So it's all the information needed for loyal customer and distributor. And I'm just going to give you just a Danielle thing that I do, and I don't tell this to like everybody to do. I don't ask for, and this is just me, I don't ask for the password. I don't ask them what their website name is. If you send them a list of 10 things that you need, they're less likely to get it back to you right away. So personally, for me, I'm just going to ask for the specific information. They can change their password when they're signed up. They can change their website when they're signed up. I'm not going to go into depth and be like, oh, so what do you want on your auto shipment? And what do you want? No, I don't do that. So you do it however you want. But when somebody wants to sign up as a distributor, I just get the basic information. So name on credit card, I'll say, what's your name, full name, what's the middle initial on your credit card? I have it laid out very basic. I don't ask them what their website, if they're sitting next to me and we are doing it together, then okay. But that's something that it's the less is more, less you're going to get it back probably quicker. So that's just something I do. So did that help, Tess?
Yeah, it did actually.
Okay, good. All right.
When do you tell them about the auto shipment? Like if they're signing up as a distributor, when do you feel like the right time is?
That's a tough question. And honestly, that's really, it's hard because for me, if somebody says sign me up, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be like, hold on a second. Let's talk about all the pros and cons of you joining as a distributor. Like, I'm just being real with you. I'm being totally honest. And again, this is just how I do things. But if somebody says sign me up, I'm going to go sign them up. I'm not going to be like, but I want to make sure you know about this. Oh, and I want to make sure you know about this. Oh, but wait, hang on just a second. That's not what I do. If someone says sign me up, I'm going to go sign them. So when I'm talking to somebody and they're asking me all these questions, I literally am just answering the questions. I am not word vomiting. I am not going into depth. I am not talking about if their concern is, but I just don't know that many people. I'm not going to go in depth about, well, oh my God, well, we can do this. And I'll make sure that you have this. And Danielle has all these videos that will help you network and da-da-da-da. No. Keep it simple, keep it basic, and say, listen, honestly, our team is super supportive. We have, weekly chat meetings, and you get all the support you need. Right now, we have a newbie to Ruby group, and it literally gives you daily tips. So you're going to have so much support. Stop. And as you have questions, we're going to be here to kind of help you and figure out how to get over those humps or whatever. So most of the time, somebody's going to be like, okay, what's the monthly requirement? Or do we have a quota to meet? That's one that I get all the time. And I can proudly say, no, you don't have a quota to meet. You don't have to make a certain amount every single month. You don't have to get, 4 customers every single month to make commission or whatever. So when somebody is asking those types of questions, if somebody says, what's the quota to meet or whatever, then absolutely, I'm going to go into depth and I'm going to talk about, the auto shipment. As long as you have that auto shipment running each month, you're going to be commission qualified and da-da-da-da-da, whatever. So those types of things, when they ask those types of questions, I absolutely am going to go into depth, on those things. But I will say when I am meeting with a potential distributor, if they say, I don't know what to ask, I don't really know what direction to go in, most often I talk about signing up, how to get started, and then I'll talk about the 3 ways to make money. So those are the things that I usually start with, because I don't like it when someone says, oh, I don't know what questions to ask, because it's kind of like, well, where the heck am I supposed to go then with this? So usually once I start with those 2 things, then they kind of, the questions start kind of coming out. So does that help?
Yes.
Okay. All right. What else? Who else has questions? Anyone else want to add anything? Anything that I said that you're like, well, this works for me. This is a tip that I'd like to share.
I've definitely noticed one thing since I started becoming a distributor is that a lot of people have started unfollowing me on Instagram and unfriending me on Facebook. And the one thing I have to keep in mind is, don't let it affect you personally, because people will be jealous and because you're making a change, they're going to be jealous and all that stuff. And yeah. Just don't get too worried about it. People start unfollowing you for your posts and stuff.
I was just going to say that. You're so funny. Kat and I are Kat's here, by the way. Did you lock my door?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
John, door's locked.
Yes, John, I locked the door.
So we were actually talking about something the other day, and I can't even, somebody commented on one of my posts, and he was in network marketing. It's so true, though. It's scary. Okay. So when you start something like this, people go through 3 levels, basically. So first, I'm going to mess it up now that I'm like doing a thing. So first, they're angry. Basically, they act like you're literally going to take their wallet and you're just going to buy all this product and like, oh my God, you just have to buy it all.
I'd like to.
So they're basically angry. They're mad. You're filling up their news feed like it's just annoying. So they get angry. And then the second part is jealousy. Then it's like, homegirl making some money doing this. Okay, all right. And then it's kind of like jealous because, well, crap, she's doing it. And then what's the third one? They want to join you. I didn't know if there was like a specific word for it. So basically level 3 is they want to join you. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I went through those phases. And it's weird because I didn't really think I was that person. But when you take a step back, I blocked people. I blocked all the It Works people on my Facebook friend list. I was like, you're annoying. Go make your money. Go pay for your groceries with it. Like, it was annoying. So I blocked them. Then I thought, was that real? Were they really making all that money? Like, they got those bonuses? Like, no, there's no way. So I unblocked them. and then I joined them. So basically, truly and honestly, people go through that. And it's very weird to see somebody like myself, where I'm very passionate about what I do and I love my team and I'm so supportive and I was a hater. Like, I truly like blocked people on Facebook because I was like, get your posts out of my news feed. This is not where you're going to sell your stuff. So it's just funny that it really is true. So, and going back to that, I really think that that's a hard pill for people to swallow when they are starting out. People are going to have their negative feedback. But you know what? You need to cling on to the people that are supportive of you and are, you know, there for you. So, and again, I feel like I always go to like personal things because that's what's comfortable for me. If somebody ask these questions, a potential distributor, I feel like this is what I go to. But when I first joined, like, I felt like, okay, like I might make some extra money for our wedding. And like, instead of people being like happy for me that I was trying something different and trying to make some extra money as I was just moved to a new town, instead, some people were really like negative and people unfriended me. And I was like, well, that's rude. Like, why would you do that? And then I found out my brother unfriended me. My brother was, and he has yet to friend me back. So 2.5 years, I am still not friends with my brother on Facebook. And that's a punch in the gut when you really think about it. When you go through something like that, it really hurts. And I really can't think of a better way to explain it, but you truly and honestly, like I cried over it and I called my parents and I was really upset and they were like, you know what? Move on, like move past that. But it's like, well, it's your brother. Like, that's a really hard pill to swallow. So I will say all this happened before I went diamond. And I cannot express this enough that basically I used all those people that were haters. Like, my husband even told me I was doing something that was a hobby. And I was like, you say the word hobby one more time, we're going to have a problem. So I was like, I'm going to prove to him this ain't no hobby. Okay. That was my first thing. I was going to prove to my family, who thought like my brother-in-law was very critical. Like, he's a Navy SEAL. So it was like a very matter-of-fact type of stuff. And like, what are you selling? What are you trying to scam people with? So it was really hard because you really are trying to convince people, you know, that you're doing something to help other people. But you know what? They don't pay your bills. So you've got to move past it. You've got to, you know, stay focused on your goals and use those people to push you to work harder, to motivate you. Use the haters. So what's the thing? Let your haters be your motivators. And I stand by that. I really do. Like, people were really hating on me. And I said, you know what? I'm going to prove to all of you that I know exactly what I'm doing. And when I got that $10,000 bonus and went diamond, I felt absolutely amazing. Did my brother friend me back? No. And that's fine. It's okay.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah. What?
So I'm like kind of the opposite. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Kind of the opposite of I have a lot of great support